Hi there. I'm Bruce Maples, publisher of Forward Kentucky. Let's talk about why, yes, your hair should be on fire. Okay, before we get into why your hair should be on fire, there's a couple of things I want to mention. First of all, if you like the content we're producing here, please click the subscribe button below and add yourself to our list of subscribers and like this video if you like it, and of course share it if you do. The other thing is go to forwardky.com. That's forwardky.com. You can watch our content there. You can read our stories there. And we have a free membership that you can sign up for. We also have 2 paid levels of membership, one of which will get you a daily newsletter of what happened in Frankfurt the day before, and the other one will let you follow bills in Frankfurt using our bill trackers. All in all, it's a great resource, and I hope you'll take advantage of it. Okay, let's get to hair on fire time. There's lots of crap going on in Washington. We know that. If you follow the news at all, you know that the Trump-Musk administration is just going crazy and doing all sorts of things to disrupt government and probably to destroy government. And you're thinking, okay, out of all of that, what should I really pay attention to? Well, there are 2 things. The first one is an IT thing. And if your eyes are rolling and you're going, I don't want to talk about technology, I'll try and keep it simple. Basically, what happened was Elon Musk sent some of his cronies, some of his workers, what one person called Teenage Mutant Doge Boys, into various federal departments with portable drives, external drives like you probably own, and started plugging them into computers and sucking data out of the federal government's servers. That's bad enough because they went into Treasury, which means they now have your Social Security number and all sorts of other information about you, including what payments you get and so on and so forth. But in addition, one news outlet reported that they were actually modifying the code in these systems. Now, I worked in IT for over 20 years, and I can tell you these systems are legacy systems. What that means is they were written a bazillion years ago, mostly in COBOL, which very few people even know how to write anymore. And they've been patched and patched and patched and, workarounds put in and so on and so forth. If you go in and start messing with the code, you're going to suffer from the law of unintended consequences. You're going to do something in program A, and over here in program H, you just broke something. And you won't even realize it until program H fails, and then you'll be going, well, what caused that? In addition, these are young people. We're not talking about gray hairs like me who might have a chance at understanding COBOL. These are people who've never seen COBOL. They wouldn't have any idea what it's doing. What they probably did was they took the COBOL code and they put it into one of these artificial intelligence code generators. There are such things, AI code generators that will take the COBOL code and try and figure out what it's doing and then write new code in a more modern language. Of course, we're not talking about doing testing or anything. These are not professionals. These are people who are, for lack of a better term, probably script kiddies, which means they know how enough to be dangerous. It is entirely possible that they have done things to these systems that will take the professionals months to undo. Now you're thinking, well, they could go back and get a backup. Well, perhaps they can, but you would have to do backups simultaneously across multiple systems in order to take care of this. In other words, Elon Musk and his team of breakers may have broken a number of payment systems in the federal government, in addition to having your content, your Social Security number, your data, so on and so forth. And what is Mr. Musk going to do with that? Well, he can find out what his competitors are being paid. He can find out lots of things like that. So that's the first thing that should set your hair on fire, is having Elon Musk and his team of renown into the systems in Washington. But there's a second thing. If you've been following the Trump path of destruction in D.C., then you know that a number of lawsuits have been filed. A number of people and institutions and organizations have filed lawsuits to try and stop some of these executive orders and some of this craziness that they're doing. And many times those suits have succeeded. Now, what they've often gotten is a temporary restraining order, which is normal, by the way, for legal things. Most judges will do a temporary restraining order if they're going to do one at all and let everybody come present their arguments and so on and so forth. Well, one of the restraining orders was about the funding freeze. And it turns out that even though a judge told them, no, take it back, start doing the funding again, start sending the money out like you're supposed to, like was promised. Apparently, at some places, right now it looks like the National Institutes of Health, the funding freeze is still in effect. Even though the Trump people say, no, we're obeying the courts, apparently they're not. So here's the second thing. If we have federal judges who order the administration to not do something or to do something, and this administration says, we're not going to listen to you, we're going to do what we want, and then nothing happens, that means the rule of law is finished in this country. It means that the only rule of law that matters is the Trump-Musk law. Watch for that. If that happens, we've got a whole different situation here. Basically, we've got a dictatorship or an authoritarian regime or a fascist takeover or whatever you want to call it. But basically, you've got a small group of people, of elite, MAGA, Christian nationalists, whatever, who now run the government and have the final say, not the courts, not the rule of law, not Congress, and not you and me. So, there are two things that your hair should be on fire about. What are you going to do about it? Well, minimally, you should be contacting your representatives. Minimally, you should be telling others so they realize it. And minimally, you should be doggone close watching your data, your Social Security information, and you should be watching the news about this legal thing to see what happens. I wish I had better news at the moment, but I don't. This is a warning shot. This is something just to let you know what's going on. And as it progresses, I'll come back and fill you in some more. Again, if you like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's hope that we can see a light at the end of this tunnel from these two things.